Hey guys, DDG the Man here, back here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing another rant, and today is going to be my first Disney Channel rant. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. First off is Ant Farm, and I've only seen bits and pieces of Ant Farm, and I've actually sat down and watched maybe 4 to 5 episodes of it, and from what I've seen, it seems to be an okay show, nothing special. It's just a normal Disney sitcom to me, or average Disney sitcom. I don't really have too much to say about it other than it's just an okay show, but I don't really keep up with it or anything like that, so whatever. Okay, next is Jessie, and I've seen bits and pieces of the show here and there. Or really, I'd like to say I've seen chunks, not just pieces. I've seen chunks of the show. And from what I've seen, I can care less about it. I can really care less about it. Like, I care less, like, I like Ant Farm more than I do Jessie. That's what I can say. And again, I can just care less about the show. I can care less about the nanny taking this nanny and the kids and the mischief they get into or misadventures or whatever. I can just care less. Okay, that's pretty much what I have to say about Jessie. Okay, Good Luck Charlie. To tell you the truth, I actually like Good Luck Charlie, and I have absolutely no clue why. I mean, it's just about a family doing their thing. I don't know. I don't know. I just like this show. It just has that charm to it, I guess. Okay, next up is Austin and Ally, and I've seen very little of this show. I've seen very little bits and pieces, so since I've seen so little, I don't really have an opinion on it. So, I guess from what I've seen, it seems like an okay show, but nothing I really want to keep up with or anything like that. So let's move on to something a little different, which is Wizards of Waverly Place. And I'm not particularly talking about the show, but I'm going to be talking about the special they just had, which, well, as a recording of this video, was Alex versus Alex. And from that, it was really good. I think the effects were really good in this. Were really good in it. The story was particularly good. The only thing that I really didn't like is that the laugh track in the very beginning. Because when I was watching it, when it first started up, it seemed like it had a serious tone to it. And then, there's Alex, and she's in that blue cavern place. And then she talks for a few seconds, and she cracks a joke or something, or says something funny. And then the laugh track starts, and I just have a big old face palm, because it's like, that doesn't need to be there. This is supposed to be set. It looks like this is supposed to be set as a serious tone, but it's Wizards of Waverly Place. What you gonna do? But overall, it was a good special. I'm glad Wizards came back for that special, but other than that, I'm just trying to basically say that it was good, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the animated stuff that Disney have. First is Phineas and Ferb, and who doesn't like Phineas and Ferb? It may have the same formula going on each episode, but they also switch it up every once in a while. But Phineas and Ferb is Phineas and Ferb. It's a good show. Again, it may follow the same formula, but don't fix what ain't broken, I guess. First you have Phineas and Ferb and their friends doing their one thing, and then you have Candace trying to bust them with her thing, and then you have Perry off fighting different Smurfs. It's just an overall good show, and it's cool to see what type of different stuff happens in each episode. Okay, next up is Fish Hooks, and from what I've seen, it seems to be a pretty good show. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but I haven't really been keeping up with it lately. And but again, it seems to be on a little bit more of the weirder side of Disney animation, but again, it still seems like a pretty good show. If I ever really bored and it's a new episode that I haven't seen, I'll probably watch it. Okay, next up is Gravity Falls. And with Gravity Falls, I've only sat down and watched maybe 2 to 3 episodes all the way through. And from what I've seen, it seems to be a really good show. A lot of people seem to really like this show too. And if I ever find the time, it's just that, to me, I just really haven't gotten into it really. But I know it is a good show. And maybe sooner or later I'll get into it. But right now, it's just I just know it is a good show. Okay, let's go ahead and move back into the live action type stuff. But first off, with Dog with a Blog. And with Dog with a Blog, I've seen very little of the show. And for what I've seen, it seems like the worst Disney Channel show that they have right now. Not to particularly say that it's bad. It's just the least liked show to me. All the other shows are better than this one, in my opinion, from what I've seen. That's pretty much what I have to say about Dog with a Blog. I don't plan on getting into it or anything like that. So, On to the next show, which is My Babysitter is a Vampire. And again, with this show, I don't know why, but I actually do like this show. Just maybe it's because of the supernatural things happen, interesting, it's funny in some places. At least to me, it's funny in some places. I don't know what it is about this show. It's just cool, I guess. Even though it's kind of silly, the premise is kind of silly with the babysitter. I mean, working this alongside the babysitter to fight off stuff. I mean, she's their friend. She's more of a friend than a babysitter now. But you guys know what I mean with the guy being only like, I think the guy's only like a year younger than she is, and she has to babysit him because his parents don't trust him. That's kind of a stupid premise, but other than that aside, it's a good show to me. Okay, I think the next and the very last show that Disney has right now is Shake It Up. And with Shake It Up, personally, I just don't like the show personally, I've seen very little to the show, but, just the premise of a sitcom and a dance show together just doesn't mix with me, I guess, I haven't really given the show a chance, but, to me, I just don't like this show. It's just me, because I haven't actually given the show a chance, so whatever. Well, this brings an end to my Disney Channel rant. I know it's particularly short compared to my other rants, but that's because Disney just doesn't have enough offer compared to the other channels, or I just don't have as much to say about these shows, I guess, because Disney's my least watched channel nowadays, because compared to the other two, because the only shows I really watch is Good Luck Charlie and Phineas and Ferb, pretty much. Those are like the only two things to really keep up with besides My Babysitter Vampire, but they don't show that show very often other than the summertime and maybe Halloween time. So that's what's with dinner. That's up with Disney. So if you guys would like me to do a Pacific rant on a Pacific show, then I will. Like I said before, I haven't seen too much of Jessie. So if you guys want me to do a rant on Jessie, then I'll sit down and watch a couple of episodes, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Or maybe I'll sit down and watch a few episodes of Dog with a Blog and do a rant on it. Or maybe I'll sit down and watch Shake It Up and do a rant on it. Just leave comments down below on if you guys want me to do that, or just leave comments on anything. I want to hear y'all's feedback on my rants here. So again, this is DDG the Man, and I'll see you next time whenever I either do Boomerang, Disney XD, or Nicktoons rant. Catch y'all next time.